Welcome to Inventing Daily with Carolyn Keane, where inventors can share their products and ideas and learn from other inventors. My guest today is Patrick Raymond, the inventor of a very cool product that I've been watching for a long time. Patrick's journey is, I would say, typical of a lot of inventors, filled with a lot of ups and downs. He has created the space shower system. It's a very ingenious way to expand your shower space. I wish I came up with it. Welcome, Patrick, and maybe you can explain to our listeners what it is and why you came up with it.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me. I guess the simplest way to explain it on the radio is basically a shower curtain that is curved outward like an umbrella turned sideways. So
Lost your mic. Are you still there? Patrick?
that's it.
Patrick, we lost your mic. So you start with an umbrella. For some reason we lost your voice.
Okay. Well, I guess this is good training for an elevator pitch.
Absolutely.
I'll start from the beginning. So
Okay.
I've invented a shower curtain that creates more shower space because it curves away from you. It's not the shower rod, but the shower curtain, the shower liner itself that curves away, like an umbrella turned sideways. And the way it works is through origami pleating, like the folds of an accordion. So the top panel flexes as you open and close, but when it's fully open, you get more shower space at your elbow and knee level where we need it most. That's it.
I did have a picture because some of this will go on a video. So I'm going to show this picture. So I think you can see that it angles out and gives you a lot more, I would call it elbow room. So I think a lot of people feel claustrophobic in the shower. I know I do, especially if it's a real small one.
Yes, but nobody talks about it.
But no,
no.
No.
It was interesting working on this project, walking up, asking people about their bathing experience. They would look at me with these big eyes, like, why is he asking me this? It's because it's such a private moment, right? And we're a bit of a prudish country. And so, yeah, there you go.
Here's another picture, which shows, and the elbows are out, so you can see, maybe that's better.
That's right.
Yeah, it is a little weird asking. I created a bath product and, you ask, how do you do whatever? And it's always met with, why are you asking? I think.
Yeah, especially as a man. I mean, I'm 6'3", so I invented it for myself because I'm big and I needed extra space. But in fact, it's mostly women who purchase shower liners. No man in his right mind buys a shower curtain or a shower liner because
Right.
He's going to get the wrong color. He'll get in trouble, right? There'll be marital discord. And
Right.
We actually even did an ad that was a little funny. Gentlemen, we know you want it, but do not buy this product unless you check with your wife first, okay?
That's true.
Because women maintain control of design decisions for the house
Most of the time.
most of the time.
Yeah.
And also women are more concerned about hygiene. Little boys will go rolling around in the mud, but little girls won't do that. And
Right.
so that translates into adulthood, and you got to research your audience. So it was quite interesting that I was a man who invented a product that was really primarily purchased by women. So in my research, I had to ask about their showering experiences, and you discover like women do more. Like there's more shampoos, there's more multi-stage treatments, there's the shaving things. You ladies, it gets very acrobatic in there,
Yeah.
and so Whereas us dudes, give me a bar of soap and we're done. It's,
Well, to your point of why you created it, besides the fact that you're 6'3", you need more room. Somebody said that to me yesterday, that their shower was too small and there was no place to, sit and shave your legs or do whatever you do in the
right.
shower. And
Yeah.
it's so true. It's so true. When I
I
did
also,
one of my baths, I actually redid it and put a seat in there because there was no
yes,
space.
yes.
So this is great. This is
Thank
a
you.
great product. Now, in watching you, I mean, I've gotten a lot of your updates over the years, which is really fun, which is why I'm really excited that you're this far. You said you went to China to source it, and you actually went there. What was that like?
Oh, well, it's always lovely to travel. I'm a big travel nut, but it was a business. It was very difficult. The communication, the culture gap is real.
Yeah.
I think the stereotype. Sometimes some stereotypes are based on reality. So the Chinese will say yes to everything because they
Mm.
don't want to appear rude. So they'll say yes, but in fact
Wow.
they didn't really prepare. Whereas Americans, the stereotype is we say no to everything.
That's true. That's so true.
We say no to everything. It's like, can it be done? No, it cannot. It's custom. Well, can you do a custom job? No, I cannot. You have to pay me more. Well, can I pay you more? No, I don't believe you will. Like it's very skeptical. Whereas in China, can you do it? Yeah, sure. Yeah, please come on over. We can do it. And then you get there on the ground, and then there's either struggles, but um, I ended up not sourcing in China, and this is well before the COVID. You probably read this in my
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I just
I
was not.
I have to tell you, I'm so excited that you brought it home, and for whatever reason, that it's made in the U.S. I made my products in the U.S., and what a difference! And especially now, I'm absolutely thrilled with having more products made here. So,
Yes.
for whatever reason, thank you. We're glad to
Well,
have it
it
here.
was a business decision. It
Right.
was a business decision. The tariffs made a difference.
Right.
The technique made a difference because the yes, it's true that labor may be cheaper in China, but so are the environmental standards. And because labor is cheap, they'll put 14 workers to do something that two skilled workers here with the right mechanization can do. So it's a trade-off. Do I want to pay 14 low skill workers or two medium or high skill workers here? That's how it comes down to, right? And I said, no, let's do it here. Let's do it here. It made no sense. The delays. It was a business decision first and foremost. It was
Right.
before the pandemic. It was before that. That's why.
And what's the material? I know it's some special plastic, because I've been fascinated with how you've gotten it to keep the pleats. I mean, I love
Yeah, that's
origami,
the
but
magic.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so for
Absolutely.
people listening on the radio, you got to imagine the bevels of an accordion, right?
Right.
So those folds, it's like a zigzag pattern. In my case, the product, the space system is not an exact zigzag. It's a more complex origami,
Right.
but it's the same principle. Well, it turns out that folding plastic, what we're doing is we're creating what's called in engineering a living hinge.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Got
like a shampoo bottle cap that you can open, close, open, close, open, close, and it'll never break.
it. Cool.
And the trick to a living hinge is to fold, is to have the plastic be exceedingly thin
Okay.
without breaking. And
Right.
so I'm not going to reveal my trade secrets here,
Oh,
but
no, no,
much,
don't, because it's
much
magic.
more, yeah, it's much more complicated than it looks, especially that you want to make, you know, 30 pleats per unit, and we want to sell thousands and tens of thousands, even more, units. So you need some specialized equipment to do that. And you need to learn. I had to learn things like molecular reorientation of
Right,
plastics.
right.
Like
Yeah.
you can't just, can't just hand it over to a chemical engineer and say, you figure it out. It's the inventor's burden. It's the inventor's burden to know. Actually, it's not enough to invent something that works well and looks nice. I
Not
thought
at
it was
all.
enough.
That's the easy part.
Yeah,
That-
well,
yeah.
I wouldn't. It wasn't easy in my case, but
No, but I'm saying the idea and you know,
yes,
the need and the surveys and all of that, but the manufacturing and the
yes.
mechanics of it,
Well,
most
that's
people don't have a clue.
well. I didn't have a clue either,
Right,
and because it's an invention, because it doesn't exist.
right,
But what I was saying is that it's not enough to invent something that works well and looks nice. You also have to invent the method of manufacturing it at scale.
right.
And that last part, at scale. Um, we did a Kickstarter campaign, and the first 500 or 600 versions we did basically by hand, but
Wow.
that's not scalable. So
Right.
then between the first version and the current version, a year and a half went by
Uh-huh.
because you
Yep.
have to figure out how to manufacture this, not 20 units a day, but 200, 500 units a day. How do you
Right.
do that?
Right.
And it's not a question of just adding Chinese workers. that's not
It,
that's not it.
yeah, I went through the same thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a challenge, and it's something that you don't know what you don't know.
You
And
don't know what you don't know. And and the joke I was saying earlier that the American manufacturers say no to everything, it's because they can spot a clueless inventor a mile away.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's like, okay, sir, do you know how to make this? And I go, no, I was hoping you'd figure it out. And then they hang up the
You're
phone.
the manufacturer. Hello.
Exactly. Right.
Radical concept there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Although to be fair, the partners that we do have now did partner with me on a number of R&D rounds. So we tried different things
Right.
before finding them. But you have to finance those attempts. You have to pay people for
Yes.
their time.
Yes. And the prototypes, in a lot of people think you make one prototype and voila, here it is, and let's go. And it's trial and error and trial and error and more trial.
Right.
And until you can get that secret sauce or the magic trick that holds those folds in place without, like you said, without breaking,
Yeah.
it's a long journey, which is why we're doing this show. I mean, I think it's important for everybody to know, besides the fact that I want to see people buy your product. Tell me, you're making it now, but as you're ready to
Yes.
launch, you came down with COVID. How are you feeling?
Oh, thank you. I'm feeling better. Yeah, I'm here in New York City. I was sick. I was very sick throughout all of April.
Wow.
And then I had to rehydrate all of May. I drank 4 liters of water per day in May.
Wow.
You don't want to catch this, people. This is no hoax. And I'm a very fit guy. And Carolyn, I had to write to people and say, listen, I can see in my calendar that we had a conference call, but could you please remind me who you are?
Right. Oh, wow.
Like
So
you're in this sort of brain fog. It's not just that your body is under assault, but your faculties are really
I heard that. I wasn't sure how true it was. Wow.
yeah, you're in a brain fog. And so I'm back. Thank you for asking. But my suppliers and everyone, they were very good, because what I manufacture is a personal care item, home fashion, but a home essential. And
Right.
so my entire supply chain these are people who make food packaging and PPE for medical purposes. So this plastic is medical grade, it's food grade
Oh,
plastic.
cool. Good.
It's high quality plastic. Not that I'd suggest you'd eat off it, but you could. Like it's that clean.
But you
When
also said that it's washable, which I think is fantastic.
Well, yeah, that's my personal conviction, and that's my belief. I could have. So again, for the radio folks, let me explain. The top section is the one that angles out,
Right.
and then it's the one that's got the folds and the magic. But then the bottom section is a textile waterproof shower liner that attaches to it. And the reason I had it
Oh,
be
okay.
textile, they look the same, but they're not, Carolyn. The
Okay.
reason the textile is a textile and not
Plastic.
plastic
Hmm.
is because I wanted it to be machine washable. I wanted people to save money, to stop the repeat spending routine of constantly changing a plastic throwaway liner.
Right.
So it's both an economical and ecological thing to do. And so I could have made a plastic liner, but I'm not gonna. That's just a personal conviction for helping reduce plastic waste. And just like one shower liner is 1,800 straws.
Oh, okay.
So if you change your shower liner every 6 months, you're still throwing away 10 straws a day for
Hmm.
nothing.
For
And
now.
so for me, it was an environmental concern. I'm sort of doing my bit. And you can design environmentally friendly things. So you don't throw away your bed sheets every time they're dirty, right? You just wash them. Well, why is the shower liner any different?
Well,
So
that
it'll,
makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense.
I figured it would make sense. So the item is a bit pricey,
Oh,
but you
no, but
actually,
I didn't think so. I mean, when I was looking at it, and that's my next question. Do
yeah,
you have product to sell?
I
Do you,
do. Yeah, we've been in market for a few months. Yeah.
oh, fantastic. Now,
Yes.
I, how would somebody find it? Is it on your website or are there other places? Now, your website is moreshowerspace.com. I'll put that in the comment section too, so
Thank
that
you.
you
Yeah,
can see
that's
that.
right.
Is that the best place to buy it?
Well, it's one place, you can buy
Okay.
it directly from the manufacturer. We have the best price.
Okay.
And the other place you could buy it is on Amazon. And
Okay.
because our product is called the Space Shower System, I got the URL amazon.com/space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we registered the brand in the Amazon brand registry, so you get to do that. Um, we trademarked the word space.
Oh, good. So I'll put that in too, so they can buy it directly
Yeah,
from your website or on Amazon.
or on Amazon. It's amazon.com/space or moreshowerspace.com. We've also got some through a distributor at Walmart and Wayfair. Those links are on my website, so you can get them there because some people like to stick with their retailer. They got some special shipping deals, and
Sure.
there you, yeah,
So if somebody were to order it, they could get it pretty quickly.
yes, we're in stock, and you could probably get it in just a couple days.
Well, the trucks are always out now because nobody's leaving their house. I mean, it's it's how people are living right now. So
Yeah,
that that makes total sense. There's not too many people in stores and the social distancing because nobody wants to have to go through what you did.
yeah, no, you really don't. I hope everyone recovers quickly and wear the mask and we'll put this behind us soon enough.
I
Um,
hope so.
mhm.
Now, tell me, for all the other inventors, what's been the hardest part of this journey?
Well, it ain't over.
No, no, to date, it's never over.
Never over.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would say manufacturing. That surprised me. The year and a half between having a successful Kickstarter campaign and making those units by hand and shipping.
Okay.
The year and a half it took between that and actually having product that we do now, that was hard. Traveling to China, looking at their manufacturing techniques, deciding that isn't the way to go, coming back here, searching for manufacturing. That's the hardest. Now,
Right.
I know a lot of other people in the inventing world advocate for the licensing route. Just like take your good Kickstarter results and show it to a large shower curtain company and tell them, hey, do you want to license this? Well, I have not found, I did get offers, but I did not find that the offers were any good. I think it's big companies taking advantage of small inventors.
I think so too. And we'll have another show on that because I'd like to hear your insights on that because I've
Or
found the same thing, for
they,
licensing.
they basically want your invention for a song,
Right.
and also they refuse to commit to minimum sales.
I-
So
Right.
imagine this is my baby. I hand you my baby and I want you to nurture it into a fully grown adult. And after a year or two, you hand it back to me all beaten up and bruised and say, sorry, it didn't work out.
That's exactly what happened to me twice. And
Yeah.
you lose momentum and you hand them, in my case, I handed them orders along with the licensing deal. And not one person was contacted to sell to, not one. And after a year and a half, it took me then 6 months to get out of the deal. So now you've lost momentum, you've lost sales, which means as a licensing deal, you're not making any money.
Yeah, you've also, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh,
That
yeah.
you've also lost credibility
Oh, absolutely.
because
What
then the
happened to your
marketplace,
product? It
right?
disappears. It
Well,
disappears. So,
yeah, and also the marketplace goes, oh, didn't they try to sell it and it didn't work? You have the stench of failure,
yes.
and so I went to the biggest companies. They were very interested in my patents and my prototype and the Kickstarter, the crowdfunding success. But then their offers were terrible. I said, seriously, help me out here. Help me accept this. And the truth is that large manufacturers had been suffering the retail apocalypse even before the pandemic.
Right.
And so they were no longer able, for all their millions and for all their apparent scale, they were actually running scared.
Well,
Because
and I think that a lot of manufacturers, in my case, three big companies went around my patents in that time. A lot of times they'll just buy it until they can, or license it. They didn't buy it. License it until they can figure out how to get around it. So now your your product is removed from the market while they tinker with it and figure out. I mean, it took you a long time and it's going to take them a long time. And then they replace it with something that's,
yeah.
I would say, mediocre, which
But
is what
listen, you
happened.
know what, Carolyn? I think that the licensing also is only for someone who is eager to get rid of the project. And I wasn't eager to get rid of my
Yeah,
project.
that makes sense. Yeah.
I
It's
was,
a
I
lot of
was,
work. It's a
and
lot of work.
it's a lot of work. Listen, I'm not married. I don't have children. So I think that I would be singing a different tune if I did.
Right.
But like, you got to look at your personal life and say, how much more inventing can I take? How many more factory visits can I take? And in my case,
Yeah.
I was going, bring it on. Like, I'm going to figure this out and product's going to be gorgeous.
Well,
I'm not.
and it is, and it
Oh,
is. I'm so excited. I was telling somebody that I was going to be doing this podcast with you, and she said, that sounds amazing. I printed up the pictures. So actually, that's my next meeting. I'm going to be taking those pictures with me because I think that it's true. I'm not going to ask what she does in the shower. It's none of my business.
yeah.
But I think it's important uh, for inventors like you and I to have a way to share this if
And
you're
we
not going to
maintain
license it.
control. Yeah. And I wanted to maintain quality control.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I also I wasn't terribly impressed by, I wasn't, look at it this way. They were suffering the retail apocalypse when I met them.
Right.
And they were running scared. The executives were running scared. They were losing the best staff. A lot of the staff would leave and start their own single product startups. And I think large corporations prefer to buy out a proven product as opposed to licensing an unproven product.
Maybe, right. And it could happen that as you grow and get bigger and bigger and you get into more distribution, maybe that would be a possibility down the road.
Yeah. And I'm open to it because the patents are strong. It's more than
Good.
one patent and they're very strong.
Good.
And frankly, I understand that corporate mindset. why would they speculate on
But
a
they can't
license?
afford to. They can't
They
afford to
can't
now.
afford to speculate. They'd rather buy out something that's proven. And
Well,
so
you're
they,
doing it. You're
yeah,
doing it.
that's right. It's my burden to prove it. And I think that the word proof
Right.
is about not only can it be manufactured at scale, but are you getting good reviews? Because
Well, and
in
yeah,
the social
and do you
media
have repeat
world,
customers? And do you
yeah,
have, are you getting into more distribution? I mean, Amazon is great distribution. Don't get me wrong, but I think once it gets that, there's different thresholds, as I'm sure you know, that once it gains traction, more people are going to be coming to you to say, can we have your product on our shelves? Because shelf space is very costly, and again, they're
yes,
not going to do it with something that's not proven. So
that's right. That's right.
I think what you've done is fantastic.
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm so excited that you've actually launched it, that you're healthy, and that
Thank you.
we can start to see it more. I'm real excited for you, Patrick. I think it's great.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for hosting the
yes,
show, by the way. I think it's a lovely initiative, and to get out of the just a place for people to be honest about
right.
what it's really like. I think that's important because I don't like this sort of I call it success porn, whereby like everyone's like touting how successful they are. I can't stand it,
Well,
and
it's counterproductive. And I think
yeah,
that in doing all of this, they're not there. It's puffery, and
it's puffery. That's well
and
said. Yeah,
yes, and it's not only that, they're selling their consulting, and they're selling their follow my 10-step program,
yeah.
and it's
I actually
only you
I
know
actually always wondered, it's like, if you're so successful, why are you still working?
well, I think a lot of people, it depends on the person, but I think that they get to a certain point. I met one inventor, and he actually made more, he never made money on the product itself, but somebody knocked it off, and he took him to court, and he made a ton of money. So he was set, and now he was on stages before, when you could meet in person, and telling his story, and here's what I did. Here's my,
Well, that's
again,
valuable.
10
That's a unique
yeah,
story. That's
yes.
valuable.
But they're selling their coaching skills,
Yeah, that's right.
and it for you, you're doing the real thing. So what I'll do is I'm going to put moreshowerspace.com in the comments, as well as
Thank you.
your Amazon. And I'm thrilled that you could join us today. And if anybody has any questions, or if you know of any other inventors that want to be a guest on my show, they can reach me at Carolyn@inventingdaily.com. And this podcast is going to be on anchor.fm, Inventing Daily, as well as YouTube and a lot of other spaces, so that inventors like you, Patrick, can be heard. So please like and share this channel and the YouTube. And for you and every other inventor, keep inventing daily. I'm looking forward to sharing your story.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks for joining.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.